All right, you need to get your answer submitted. It has been 60 seconds. 10 of us are losing a point on our active collaboration at this point. Guys, we got to step it up. We do. It's okay.
I pressed the pause button one time, and I tried to press it back because I didn't even mean to, and now I don't even know where I'm at. Like, it took me off the question.
Hit the home button again, and when you see where it says scratch pad on the left-hand side, usually when I start a poll, it will have C, quick poll down there, and you can go back to it. Quick question, raise the hands if you did not get an answer in. Anybody else? Because I'm missing 10 of yours. I got 13, 14, 13 of 24. I'm missing 11. Okay, I'll just leave it there. I was going to give you all another opportunity to submit an answer, but it is what it is. So, let's look at this problem. I got 3 people who said 1/6. I got 2 people who said 6/7, 7/6, things like that. So let's look at this because I would say that we need some more practice with this. We need to pay attention. You need to have a sheet of notebook paper out. I would title it Slope, and I would make sure that you take notes on how to calculate slope here. Because we talked about this yesterday, but I saw very few people show effective work for this to actually get the answer correct. You can't just magically look at it and get it. Does anyone know what the first thing you should do to figure out the slope between these 2 points?
Draw a graph.
You could draw a graph, you could draw a table, and you could make either one of those, but that's actually not where I would start. That is one of the middle steps. An analogy that I've given to my Algebra 2 students today, yes sir?
How big is one?
Quickly, you need to get back in here if you learn. Stop. There's nothing you should have been doing that, but anyways. An analogy that I gave to my students, and this may not resonate as well with y'all, but I'm going to go with it anyways, just because y'all haven't really started driving yet much. Is that fair to say?
Driving?
Yeah, have y'all started driving a lot?
I do.
You drive? So someone started driving? Okay, so there you go. Alright, so I need y'all to hear me clearly on this. Pay attention. If you want to go to Bryant-Denny Stadium, are you going to pull out of Hillcrest High School and just randomly start taking turns?
No.
If you start randomly taking turns, do you have a great shot at getting to Bryant-Denny Stadium?
Yes, I know where it's at.
Okay, that's what I need you to hear. You're not taking random turns. You know where to go. You have an end goal in mind, right? You cannot do math by jumping into the middle. You have to have an end goal in mind. What was your task here? What was the goal? To find the slope. Stop right there. What is the first thing you need to think about if you're trying to find slope? The equation for slope. The end goal. What is the result that I want? How do we calculate slope?
Why you could, why you send me?
Yeah, why?
Hold on, you need to be careful because we're just used to throwing equations out. I want slope. Slope is m. Notice, that's the slope, what is this again? That's slope intercept form. That's a y-intercept. That's the slope intercept form of a line. I asked for slope and slope alone.
Oh! Run divided by...
Rise
divided by run.
Rise is being divided by run. You need to know that end result. Now, I think it was Thomas who earlier said, hey, make a graph. He said make a graph. Could you make a graph of those 2 points and find the rise and run tomorrow? And how much are you going to learn with that hoodie up over your eyeballs tying string? Take the hood off, pick up a pencil, and take some notes. Trent, sorry, not Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland's elsewhere, I'm not thinking. Right there. Trent, come on. My bad, Tomorrowland. And my bad, Trent, for calling you Tomorrowland. Look, rise divided by run. What graph goes well with that? Hey, Trent, do you have a pencil in hand to take notes? Okay, let's be actively engaged. All right, what's another equation or another way to write rise divided by run? The change in y divided by the change in x. For those of y'all who are saying, hey, make a table, this is a reason why. How is it taking them this long to get water? Jordan. Jordan. Warriors. Come on, man. Good job. Jordan, now.
Nice.
He's right here. Stop acting like fools in my class. Your education matters. Carolina Reaper chips, are we serious? Like, how old are we? We're in high school. Stop acting like your children. If you want to act like an idiot, do it outside of class time. I've got 90 minutes a day to teach you. You got 90 minutes a day to learn something. Stop wasting your potential and your opportunity. When you walk into this class, I greet you by name, and I ask that you respond with the truth and the fact that you are capable. Yet when you pull stunts like this, you're going to prevent yourself and others from learning something. Stop acting like children. Because yes, y'all are not grown adults, but you're not children anymore. You're in high school. Y'all are teenagers. In a couple of years, you're going to graduate high school and either go get a job or go to college. And y'all need to act like it. Hood off, Jaden. So, coming back to this, so that we can actually learn something today, slope is rise divided by run. Change in y divided by change in x. And Thomas already said it, we can create a graph to find the rise and the run. And so again, we have our goal in mind, what we're trying to get to, and so this is a path to get there. You got to know where Bryant-Denny Stadium is to create a path to get there. This is our path. And so I've got -3, 2. I've got 4, 6, 7, 8. 4, 8. And so from there, I'm going to find my rise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that +6 or -6? How do you know it's +6, Maddie? It's going up. So +6. How much is the run? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what's the slope? 6, and we want to divide it by 7. Boom. Be careful and remember that it is division, because that is a mathematical operation. We have a goal in mind, right? In this analogy, Bryant-Denny Stadium, and we have a path to get there, creating a graph to find rise divided by run. Now, where did what?
No, I was
What's the question?
No, I found it.
Okay. Remember, change in y divided by change in x. That's great if you were to quickly make a table, which is actually easier. -3, 2, 4, 8. Because I want the change in y. How much is the y changing? Y'all, the y is over here. +6. How much is the x changing? +7. So then, change in y is 6. Change in x is Same answer or different answer?
Same.
Same exact answer. What do y'all think? Better use the graph or use the table?
Table. Table easy.
Here's the thing. You do what's better for you. It doesn't do they both give you the correct answer?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you're better with rise divided by run, the graph is really good. If you want a quicker way and you're comfortable with the change in y divided by change in x, the table's great. I personally am always going to do a table because I think it's faster. But that's not to say that a graph's not a good way to do it. It doesn't matter which approach you use, and that's the thing that a lot of math students need to learn better. There's more than one option. Your job is to justify how you got there. There's more than one option to get the right answer. Your job is to justify how you got there. What are our questions about slope at this point? Okay. So, two quick questions. Actually, just two things I need to do. Anybody see where I put the black remote? Yes. How did that get here? So, all right. First, before I forget, I feel like some people forgot to do something. I guess Emily's not here today, neither is Jamie. Oh, sorry, Joe, I didn't realize you were right there. Coming in. Thomas, 7 is Ethan. Oh yeah, I forgot. Let's go. Number 11 is Kyla. You don't have one, right? Okay. 13, Jaden. Guys, you all know that we have done 4.5 weeks of this, right? Or 4 weeks of putting our phone up when we walk into class, right? If we continue to forget to put our phones up, I'm going to mark you tardy. You get 3 tardies, it's a write-up. Put your phone up at the beginning of class. Because when it's every day, you're not forgetting, you're just being disrespectful. Tomorrowland, yours is broken, right?
Yes, sir.
When Jordan comes back in, remind me to tell him to put his phone up. Okay. All right, 2 quick things. I mentioned it already, but I will not be here on Monday or on Tuesday. What you will be doing is using the online system that goes to Carnegie Learning called MATHia. This is an individual learning opportunity, but you can still help each other. And Miss Estel, I introduced her a couple weeks ago, and she was here on Wednesday when y'all are taking your test. Miss Estel is my placement student from UA. She understands math really well. She will be here to help support you to learn and to grow. Okay? Now, I have an important question. How many of us have iPads? So, 3 of us. They just started on freshman day, so I thought. So here's what's going to happen. In order for y'all to get onto MATHia, I need you to pay attention. I'm going to have to do a write-up of instructions, but I'm going to need y'all to go down to the library computer lab. Do you know where the computer lab is?
Yes, sir.
That's where my third block is.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
No class is, I didn't think any class just was in the computer lab because my class is going there. There's multiple computer labs.
Ah.
So,
I'm not
the
against it.
library computer lab.
That one. Yeah, I know that.
Okay, so when you walk into the school, right, you know how the stairs are right there to your
Right
right?
behind the
Yeah, it's
So the library is right behind the stairs, but before you get into the library, you're going to take a left, and there's a room right there across from the check-in window, and that's where the computer lab is. If you forget that, you can go into the library and they will direct you to the computer lab. Okay? Yes, Amara?
There's a paper on the door.
Yes, there is a piece of paper on the door that says computer lab.
We all going on?
No, only half of us. The other half are going to stay in here.
How long will
Thomas, that's called sarcasm. Yes, you are all going down to the computer lab on Monday and Tuesday. Okay. Now, I will type up a sheet of paper with directions to give to Ms. Estel, and she'll give these to you on Monday, but she'll also help you with this. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the online system, especially since most of us do not have an iPad. So I need all eyes up on the board or up on the TV so that you can try to pull it up. The internet's been really slow on them all day.
Oh, we can do that?
So, do you know what single app that is on the iPad or that you can go online for that has almost everything you need? Clever. Okay. So remember how when we did iReady, you had to go to Clever first? So you need to go to Clever.
Teachers, freshmen, not so freshmen only. C's, D's. That's C as in Charlie, D as in dog. Come on to the library.
No, all the way off. Okay, so Clever login. Now, when you sign into Clever, it may give you this weird thing where it has like a camera and it's like, hey, use your badge to log in. Don't do that. We don't have badges to log in. Just look at the bottom where it says log in with username and password. Any guesses what the username and password will be?
Your school username and password.
Your school username and password, okay? That's how you will log in. Once you log in, you will need to scroll to the very bottom. You will not, I can't scroll right there because I deleted a whole bunch of apps. But when you scroll to the very bottom of this page, you're going to look for this CL. That stands for Carnegie Learning, who creates, and that's the company that creates our textbook. In fact, Devin, if you look at Devin's desk right now, he has that textbook out. What's at the very bottom of that textbook on the spine?
CL.
That's CL for Carnegie Learning, okay? So you're going to click on Carnegie Learning. Well, that's the Algebra 2 one, but yes. So when you log into Carnegie Learning, okay, I'm not even doing anything hard right now. Keep your head up and pay attention. How are you going to know where to go if your head is down right now? So when you log in, you won't see a screen like this. This is just for teachers. But there will be a section that says resources. Aiden, can you let Jordan in, please? Okay. Hey Jordan, do you ride the bus?
Not anymore.
Okay, I need you to stay after class for a couple minutes. Underneath where it has the picture, you will go there and it'll say resources or something to that effect. When you click on resources, what you're going to look for is something called MATHia. Alright, MATHia is what you will use in order to access the information I'm about to show you. And so what I will actually have you do is I'm going to create what's called a workspace so that when you go into MATHia, you can work with Bivariate Data. That's what we're starting today. And so you're going to go to Algebra 1. You're not going to, but I'm going to have this pulled up. And I'm either going to be here with readiness for least squares regression or least squares regression. I got to play around with it. So this is actually what we're going to start on today, called estimating lines of best fit. And so when you click on this, it's going to give you some information on the left-hand side sometimes that you will want to read through. This is information to help you learn and grow and become better at these mathematical ideas. You can always revisit this in order to study and things like that. This one is just you have to work through it, right? So positive linear relationship. Okay, so I drag my graphs down, all the ones that have a positive linear relationship. Negative, I drag those down, okay? So it's pretty straightforward, follow directions, they give explanation of everything, and this is going to help you a lot with what we do when I come back. I will also assign things like this, based on what we do today. Nope, that's not what I want either. I lied. Sorry for lying to you. Nope, that's not what I want either. I'll have to find it again. But you're going to work through different modules here, and I'll show you the module that I'm definitely using with Algebra 2 class, because this may help you as well. What you will do is when you log in, so this isn't going to be yours, this is Algebra 2's. Hey Jordan, I need the hood off. And so when you log in, there will be practice problems. And you can do step-by-step examples, and that will help walk you through learning what you need to learn from this system, right? So a constant 30 is added to each term, and so it's going to define what these different ideas are. Okay, so it helps me work through this. Go to problem. You also can always click on step-by-step. You can click on sample problems. You can click on hints. If I were to click right here, hey, it's increasing. Notice how it gives me a hint so that I can figure out how to do this better moving forward. This system adapts to when you are struggling with something to give you extra support, and it helps give you a better challenge to help learn how to do this math better when you do things well. So this is a really powerful system for that. If you look right here, you got a skillometer sometimes. You have to master those skills before you can move on to the next workspace. Take advantage of Miss Estel being there on Monday to really start to develop these ideas. Now, I'm going to pause and I'm going to point this out. You need to look for an email from me this weekend, as do your parents, because you see right here where it says My Classes? Do you see any classes there? No, because someone, unfortunately, at the central office, not unfortunately, they were updating Power Schools, and unfortunately, an unfortunate side effect of that was that it broke Clever for a little bit, and now it's taken My Classes out of MATHia. We're hoping that that gets fixed over the weekend. So if you end up using MATHia on Monday, look for that email from me, you'll be in the computer lab. If we have to go with a paper copy version of everything, you will still be up here. So look for an email. I will send one both to you and to your parents. So look for an email about where you will be on Monday. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So Thomas, where are you going to be on Monday?
In the computer lab or
Is everyone? So in the computer lab or here, right?
Yes.
So Trent, how do you know if you're going to be in the computer lab or if you're going to be in here?
He's gonna be on.
Say again? No, you're going to get an email from me this weekend. Hey Trent, if you can't get your hands outside of your hood, or outside of your jacket and get your hood off your head, I'm just going to take the jacket away from you while you're in my class. Okay? There we go. Alright, let's get started with today's lesson. Yesterday, I gave out the sheet that said candy grab activity. Is there anyone here today who was not here yesterday? Ezra, right? You weren't here yesterday in class?
Yep. No.
I don't think Ezra came in yesterday.
Nah, Edward,
It was.
you were there later.
You with me.
Nah, that when you were talking to him about the headphones.
Yeah. So that's for Ezra.
Give me one.
Does anybody else need this candy grab activity? You didn't take one yesterday when I passed it out? Guys, you should have gotten them yesterday when I passed out the lessons.
And then once it start burning, we'll feel like you're not. Come on.
Does anybody need this topic 3 linear to Marlon and Thomas? I need y'all paying attention. I'm trying to get the class started. The only things you should be doing right now are looking for this lesson and for the candy grab activity. Jordan, do you not have this with you? Have you looked in your notebook yet? Because you were here yesterday, weren't you?
That's why I'm confused right here.
Dude, you haven't even looked in your notebook. It's not out. Okay. Huh? You what?
Yeah, I ain't got
Open that bit. Open.
Here you go. Come get it. All right, we're getting started. So you need the candy grab activity out first. That's where we are starting today's lesson, with the candy grab activity. Now we're going to have to come back to this candy grab activity. We're going to do a couple of things to help you understand what the point of all this is. Thomas, were you able to get it? Or not Thomas, Wesley, were you able to get it? Whole bunch? Okay. So, here's a couple of things that we're going to do. Some of these terms will not make a ton of sense yet, and that is okay. All right, what we want to do right now is we want to identify possible explanatory variables for a response variable. Notice how many variables is that?
I don't know.
Explanatory and response variables. That's 2 variables. When we've been looking at data up to this point, it's only been 1 variable. Maybe how many, what the score was on a spelling test or spelling bee thing. What the weight of pumpkins were. Only 1 variable. So Marlon, do you need some help, bud?
I'm trying to find out my page.
my paper has to.
I ain't had my binder.
Here is a copy of the candy grab activity if you need to come get it. But we should already all have this. Guys, seriously?
Right there.
You already had one.
There you go. Jaden, dude, it's supposed to be a 10 like everyone else has. You made one of these. No, we don't talk about people like that in my class. Jaden, I took care of it. I don't need your commentary because you should have known about the 10. Thomas, I don't know why this thing's acting up. I might have to go. Just wait till the end of class to make sure. Wesley, what are these That's true. That's part of it. It's not for everyone else. You don't have candy grab either. Ken, I need y'all to look through your stuff again, because I should have, I printed out more copies of the candy grab assignment than I have students. So I need you to check to see if you have an extra. This is crazy, y'all.
Hey, which one are you?
Way harder.
Now you can watch it.
Sir.
Oh, I was tripping.
Tonight I didn't even eat all your she ate like a little piece of
I'm here.
and that's why I'm not
Plenty sweet.
You did like that.
Okay, I'll do it in a second. Just hold on, we'll put it in your notebook in a second. Let me get class started. The printer messed up and I made it.
You would talk behind my back about something. Just eating.
Alright, talking done. It is time to get focused. I've wasted too much time trying to print stuff out because people cannot hold on to their things. Guys, when I hand out a piece of paper, and I put more than enough out on the desk yesterday, I need you to hold on to your stuff. Put it in the notebook right then and there. Again, we're in high school. You'll have to make a whole bunch of it later. Alright. So again, everything we have been doing is only one variable. We are now looking at two variables. I have one right there. And we're going to talk about trend lines with this. Now we're not going to start with all that. We're going to build up to it, which is why we've been talking about slope sum. So here's the candy grab activity. What's going to happen is I'm going to hold candy like this, and one at a time I'm going to select 10 students to come and grab as many candies as they can, just using one hand like a claw. And then what are we going to do?
Count.
We're going to count it. Now, if y'all do not act like fools for the rest of the day, I will let y'all have a couple of pieces of Starburst by the end of class. But I need y'all to understand, I tried to have a fun activity for us, and y'all are frustrating me with the way that we're behaving, the way that we're not engaging in class, the way that we're hiding our heads, the way that all these things. We're in high school. We need to act like it. The more important thing is this, and I need this to be clearly heard. Your education matters. We don't act like it for some of us. And the frustrating part for me is it's preventing others who do care about their education from learning well. So we're going to do the candy grab activity. So, y'all don't have to pay attention to all these questions because I've used this in a different class. But what do you think the characteristic of interest is in this candy grab activity? Okay, just make a guess. You don't have to know perfectly what it means. Has something to do with the candies. What else? Because notice, guys, this is hey, I'm bringing ideas together. So raise your hand to share what you think you might think it is, and we'll add on to each other until we get to a good answer. To Marlon.
To see, like, not everybody, but like, see who grabs the most.
So see who grabs the most. So I'm going to write stuff up here. These are just ideas. We'll figure it out. So see who grabs the most. All right. Anybody have something else to add in? Okay, to see how many candies a person can grab. Compared to hand size. All right. Anybody have anything else that we might be interested in? And so I want you to notice, right? So Joey's like, I don't know what that means. A characteristic of interest is literally just what are we interested in this study? So are those things that we could be interested in?
Which one tastes the best?
Okay, but if we're doing the candy grab activity, is the interest which one tastes the best? So it's a good thought. We do want to probably know which one tastes the best, right, Ezra? Are you paying attention, taking
The yellow
notes?
one.
Where's your candy grab activity, bud?
Yellow.
Did I give him a candy grab activity? Well, it's a characteristic of interest, right? So guys, please notice you have the candy grab activity. We're talking about characteristics of interest. Any other characteristics of interest that we might have? Raise your hand if you have an idea. Otherwise, it's okay. We can move forward.
Alright, so I gotta think about how I word this question. What is the most flavors you caught in that graph?
So what is the highest so what is the frequency of flavor of each starburst that you grab? Okay. So frequency of starburst grab. So I guess frequency of starburst flavors grab.
Yes, sir.
So like which one's the most commonly grabbed? So these are all things that we could be interested in. What I will go ahead and tell you is, what we are going to try to find out is, what is the most, or, let me rephrase this. What is the typical number of candies that a person could grab? So what is the typical number of candies that a person has grabbed? So it's not necessarily the most, but when we say see how many candies a person can grab, well, hold on. See, am I done talking? Just wait a second. When we're talking about see how many candies a person can grab, the thing we would want to recognize about that is everyone going to grab the same amount?
No.
No, right? Winter already brought up the idea that hand size might respect or go together with the idea of how many candies you can grab. So we're going to actually look at that a little bit more later. So what I'm going to do is move this off to the side, move this off to the side, so that I can leave the candy right here. So here's the thing. How do you think I should fairly get students to come up here to grab candy?
Randomly pick.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Pick me.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yes.
Randomly select. Cody, you're also saying randomly select. Here's the thing. If I were to choose, would it ever truly be fair?
I know.
Yes.
That's what I
Yes.
want to be fair.
Mr.
King.
The question isn't who. Here's the thing though, guys. It's not an accurate representation of the class if I choose the students.
Do a
The
random.
only way to make it truly fair is to make it random.
Yeah, do that random
Listen,
selection
listen,
thing.
listen, anyone.
Yeah, do that random selection.
Bruh.
Stop, y'all talking too much and not learning enough. Jordan?
You could turn around and throw it like people do on
No.
a wedding.
No.
Yeah,
That's
and then
not
whoever,
right. All right.
whoever catches the
Stop.
starburst.
Stop.
What?
Stop. Once again, I need y'all to pay attention because once I've already said this is the theme, you're just trying to distract instead of trying to learn. And I'm about to start nipping in the bud, which means I'm going to stop letting y'all have discussions and I'm just going to start straight lecturing to y'all. If you cannot handle actually having discussion, which you think is boring now, you think I'd make you do too much work now, it's going to get worse. So, step it up and act more mature in how we're handling this. So, we are going to randomly select, and what is going to happen is to randomly select, there has to be numbers involved. So what is a number that each one of you currently has that could help us randomly select students? Okay, so the group number can work. What else? The phone numbers can work, right? So because the only issue with the group numbers is that those are groups of 3 to 4. I want individuals, right? But you each have a cell phone pocket number, don't you?
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't got four.
But you still have a cell phone pocket, don't you?
I like it.
I have their names right here. Okay, so this the calculators that y'all have random number generators in them. Under statistics, nope, not statistics, hold on. Go away. It's under probability. See where it says random? And I'm going to generate a random integer. What's the lowest number for the cell phone pockets?
1.
1. What's the highest?
36.
32. Notice it
Oh.
goes out to 36, but is there anybody who has a cell phone pocket of 36?
No.
No. So I'm going to do random integer 1 to 32. The first number that I generate, Lillian, were you trying to go through the random number generator? If you want to follow along and just learn how to use the random number generator, I'll go through this again. So let me reset this. So if you want to learn how to do this, you don't have to know it from my class, but it's a fun little detail. What one button generates everything or does everything? Menu. And then where is that random number?
The dice.
Yeah, you see where it has that dice
Yeah.
for probability and randomness? Okay, so probability and then random.
Normal.
And you need random
Normal.
integer.
Is it number?
Okay? So here's the thing, random number only gives you a decimal between 0 and 1. Random integer, what do we mean by integer?
A whole number.
A whole number, either the positive or the negative, right? So it's all the whole numbers and their opposites. And so to get a random integer, I'm going to put the first number that's possible, and then comma. The comma is on the bottom of the keyboard near the pi symbol, I believe. Okay? So, yeah, there's a pi symbol on the bottom left-hand corner. So 1 comma and then 32. 31, I don't think we have a 31. No, sadly that was Dewan, so I'm going to have to do it
That's
again.
the 18.
Can you be 16?
Okay?
Oh, 16.
So,
You said 10 people.
16.
I'm going to generate 10 different people. 31 was Dewan. Unfortunately, we don't have him with us anymore. But what I'm going to do is, instead of going through all of that work again, I'm going to hit the up arrow until rand integer is highlighted. Once it's highlighted like this, I can hit enter, brings it down, and I run it again. We also don't have the number 30. Let's try again.
You're going to be 25.
5. 5 is Emily, and she's absent.
E-F, Echo, Foxtrot.
Devin, you're our first winner. Come on up. Let's see how many candies you can grab.
Bro, that was only one away from me.
I was one away from you. And then one away from
All
you.
right, Devin. Let's see how many. So remember, it has to be claw, and it's one handy. Grab as many starbursts as possible. All right, so I'm over here. So Devin has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 candies. Can I get someone to write Devin and 19 candies up here on the board? Volunteer. Sit down, Jordan. Sit down, Jordan. Ethan, you want to do it?
I probably won't spell the name right, but no.
That's all fine. I'm okay as long as they're okay. So Ethan, come on up. That is fair. How's your handwriting? Is it good?
Yeah.
You okay with someone having nicer handwriting putting it up?
Yes.
Let's do this actually.
Yeah.
Ethan, why don't you put it on the board over there for that group of people, and someone who has nicer handwriting, let's have you put it up on this front board. Jordan, I've seen your hand. Oh. So who has decent handwriting? Come on, somebody. Lillian? Come on, write it up here for us. Alright, so Marlon, you good over there? Alright, so can you erase what's written over there in the center and then write it up? Okay, so Devin, how many candies did he have?
19.
19, okay. Number 13, who's that?
Put 18.
Who's number 13? Come on, Jaden. Grab those
it.
candies,
Take
Jaden.
the lid off.
All light, grab it out, pull it out, there we go. Did I say 19 for Devin?
Yeah.
19 for Devin. Jaden has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. 13 for Jaden. Thank you.
That's me.
Yeah, I know it's tough to get used to writing it nice and large, but Jaden had 13, I believe. Number 24 is who? You're a liar. You're not number 24. Taylor, come on, Taylor. We got a lucky winner. Come on down. Come on, Taylor.
That was too close.
Alright. Come on. Grab as many candies as you can, pull them out. Alright, so for Taylor, we got 4, 8, 12, 16 candies for Taylor. Next person. Number 2, who's number 2? Me. No, you're not number 2. Ezra, you're number 8. Come on, Peyton. Grab as many candies as you can. Taylor had 16. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
16, so 8, 12, 16, 20, 22 for Peyton.
22, yeah.
Just telling you, let me count that again. 8, 16, 20,
No, yeah.
8, 12, 16, yeah. 22 for Peyton. Alright, who was number 11? Nobody's number 11? No, that's not true. I'll say, I got number 11. Come on, Kyla.
Can you say 16?
So how many do we have so far? That's number 5? Alright. So Kyla's got 2 or 4, 8, 12, 15 for Kyla. It's random. I didn't choose it. 32. Alright, come on, Lillian.
Bro,
Oh, that'd be so tough. I didn't choose it, Marlon.
Right on the board.
Alright, Lillian has 4, 8, 12. Lillian has 12. Number 7.
Bro, I'm number 6.
Come on, Ethan. Grab as many as you can. We got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 23. Oh, we got a new leader for the number of candies for number 26.
Can I take your turn?
Hey, Ethan had 23.
Can I be number
Ethan,
26?
23.
Ain't nobody. Can I be number 26? Can I be number
Oh,
26?
Lillian had 12.
Can I?
Who's 26? Jerry's not here. 31. That's the one again. Number 8. Ezra. Alright, Ezra, grab as many candies as you can. No. One hand is like a claw. There you go. So I'm off to the side here. Alright. 8. 11 for Ezra.
Good job, bro.
It's someone at the door.
Good job,
So 11 for Ezra. How many students is that now?
That's 9.
Ezra 8. Ezra number 12,
8.
man.
So we got 2 more. 12. Who's 12?
Me.
Addison. Come on, Addison.
Bro, if I don't get used strawberries, I ain't doing it.
Wrong guy, wrong people.
Grab as many candies as you can. Come on, why you gotta do that? My calculator. Alright, Addison, 4, 8, 12, 16, 18 for Addison.
What's so special about y'all?
Last one, number 1, Nathan.
Bro.
Okay, bro.
Go for as many as you can, claw Alright, stop. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20,
Can I
and
do it for fun?
24.
No.
Nathan.
No way,
That's a lead right there.
Can I do it for fun?
Okay.
I want to do it for fun.
Hey, so let's pause here. We got 10 different numbers, 10 different pieces of data. What would be the best way to organize and represent this data? Could we use a box plot? Yes? We could use a histogram.
Dot plot.
We can use a dot plot. So we've got 3 different options. Which one is the best option for this amount of data?
A dot plot. A dot
Okay, so I want you to remember, hold on.
A box of which?
Histograms are great for what?
We have a lot of them.
If you have a lot of data, right? Box plots are great for looking at quarters of data, right? They're 25%. But what's going to let me most easily see each data point?
Dot plot.
Dot plot is going to do the best job here. So what I want you to do is use a little bit of space for that second question. Draw a dot plot there. I'm going to put the dot plot up here.
No.
So what's the lowest number? 11.
Oh, it ain't. I wanted to participate.
Okay, I want to pause and I want to show y'all something. Jaden, are you creating the dot plot right now? You can't get frustrated and roll your eyes when you're not learning because you're not putting in even a modicum of effort. That's not a dot plot, my man. Single x-axis, just like this. For real, she's trying to help you out. Do you want to write up? Do you know how many students I've written up over the years for hoods? You two are about to push me over the edge. I shouldn't have to, dude, it ain't cold. 1, 2, I shouldn't have to remind you multiple times in a single block. So, I want y'all to notice, have I done multiple numbers on this graph yet?
No.
No, because I took time to count it out to make sure that the numbers or the scale I was going to go by fits. Take the time to do that. All right, so I've got 11, I've got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm just going to go in order. Devin had 19. Make your dots nice and big so it's easy to tell. Jaden has 13. Taylor 16. Peyton with 22. Monster grab. Kyla with 15.
I'm in the 22.
Lillian with 12. Ethan with 23. Ezra with 11. Addison with 18. Kind of impressive that we didn't get any to double up. And Nathan with 24.
I could have been.
Okay. Now here's the question I have for you, and I'm going to give y'all 2 or 3 minutes within your small group to come up with an answer. If I were to get an 11th person to come up and grab candies,
Me.
that's not what I was about to do. I need you to listen.
Me.
If I were to get an 11th person to come up here and grab candies, how many candies would you expect them to grab?
31.
You're not listening. I'm not done talking. You have some data right here. Your job is to use this data to come up with a single number, a single value that you think would represent how many candies we would expect the next person to grab. Talk about it within your small groups. Figure out what I mean by that. Because if you can figure it out based on, and I will say this, it's based on the unit we just finished, then we can continue forward with this lesson. 3 minutes to figure out what the next person to grab candies, how many they might grab. Hey Jordan, get in your desk. No, in your desk. Why is that in your hand? Yeah, it goes on the desk. It goes on the desk.
Didn't ask, I said just throw my stuff away.
And don't get up out of your seat anymore. Let's get to work on trying to do something. How many candies do y'all think the next person's going to grab? How you all been out of shape? It doesn't depend. But that's not the question. The question right now is based on the information you have. Guys, based on the information, based on the dot plot, how many candies would you expect the next person to grab? That's the question here.
I said 19.
Why 10, 14, or 17? So you're just thinking that they might get a number that hasn't been done before, but I mean, that's... Why don't you think a little bit more about what Brooklyn was saying? There's an idea that's tied into what Brooklyn was saying that is more statistical than what she said. There's some, you said it's something about the middle, but think about mathematically, statistically, what does that mean to be in the middle? So what are y'all coming up with? Okay, but how did you come up with 21? Say that again. You looked at the which number? 21 is the average?
When you look at the range, I want to go back. I want to go back.
I would go back to that word that you said that apparently you didn't mean to say. So what are y'all thinking?
I want to pick up some strawberries. Yeah, no. I want no bucks. I want strawberries. Like, what was so hard?
Okay, but you just said the average. Did you ever even take the time to find the average of these? Would the average make sense maybe as a number that could be what we expect next? Let's try calculating that average. There's no way this thing is so rough. Put your head all over.
Right there.
Hey, is it going to burn if I try to?
Oh, there's symmetry in this graph.
Is it going to burn if I try to?
Because you ate a little too much. If you would have ate the whole, if you would have ate the whole chip, man, whole would have been good. I'm glad I did.
It's not going to be exactly the same. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So group 6, what'd y'all come up with?
My thought was 14.
Okay, why?
Because none of the numbers really look like they go past, like, they go like under 10, or really any higher.
So none of the numbers go below 10, so you thought 14?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Group 5, what did y'all end up coming up with? How'd you get that? It's in the middle? Does anyone know a more statistical term that we could use to say it's in the middle?
The median.
Oh, the median. Oh yeah, that word. Oh yeah, if I look right here, I have 10 numbers, right? And so how many would be on either side of the median? 5 and 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is right here in the middle. Oh, there's my median of 17. Would the median be a reasonable number to say, hey, that's how many we expect the next person to grab? Oh. Remember how I said, hey, tie this into what we just studied? Remember that? Uh-huh. And so group 3, y'all did something different. I think you found the median, but what else did y'all do?
We averaged them.
You averaged them. And Peyton, I think you averaged them as well, didn't you? But Peyton, you averaged them by hand. What did